Jerry did a press conference yesterday and was asked about the tenor in the locker room. Here's what he said.
I like what this does. I'm absolutely zero worried about the locker room. No, that's not meant to diminish anything here. I'm just not concerned at all about the locker room.
Expectations for Dallas in their opening game. Brew, you are the maestro of the F game. What are you expecting here?
I expect a butt kicking, a demolition, an annihilation.
Oh, no.
Yes, an F game by the Cowboys.
Oh.
I think morale has to take a hit, right? You lost your best player. And while I'm not, you don't want anything to do with the button. So I'm not even going. I'm gonna do it myself.
Thank you.
All right, but F game incoming.
F game, F game, F game. Ooh.
Love it. Here's the thing people have to realize. The Cowboys were bad before Micah got there. They had made the playoffs once out of the previous 4 years before he got there. They had won 6 games the year before he got there. And those 3 straight 12-win seasons were with him. Like, he helped turn. I'm not saying they didn't have other good players, but his impact on that defense was a big part of them all of a sudden becoming a 12-win team. And so, like, losing him is huge. So they are going to get smashed. I don't think, Nick, the Eagles are going to take them lightly. I just think it's a division rival. It's the Cowboys. And the Cowboys have played them tough. I think they're 5-5 over the last 10 meetings. So they know that the Cowboys, are still, Dak has played well against them. So I think the Eagles are going to go in there, taking them seriously, and beat them down.
Look, I don't think they're going to get smashed. I just don't, simply because week 1 games, it's when you have an opponent that you're very familiar with. Oddly enough, it matters who you put out there, but in the sense of just understanding who you're playing, it doesn't.
What do you mean?
I know who you are. Everyone on our roster knows who you are. With or without Micah, we feel like we can still compete with you because you're like close to kin.
It's an element of why the Browns play I don't know if it's
the
Bengals or the
The
Ravens.
Bengals and the Ravens.
It was 75-13.
Yeah,
I understand all of that. But you still have your quarterback. You still have an offense that can score points. What Jerry said, though, I really hope he's right. I don't believe he's right at all.
With what he said?
With what he said is about the locker room's going to be fine. They're going to. It just seems like, do you have a pulse of what something like this does to a locker room, does to the morale of the locker room, the chatter that's going to take place in the locker room? Are you having conversation, hopefully, with the guys in the locker room, trying to, not that you have to as an owner, but when you extract a guy like Micah Parsons, who's a vocal leader, who's just seen as an alpha in that locker room, a superstar, are you communicating to them what a potential plan is? Like, more than what you give, you don't have to tell us anything, but there has to be a sense of, what is Jerry doing? Like, they all were with the thought of, yeah, Micah, man, when he get back out here, we're going to be fine. Dak, we heard what Dak said, but now you're going to be going into that locker room, looking, dressing, getting ready to take that field. No Micah Parsons. And as much of professionals that we are, I do expect them to go play. But there's going to be moments every single game this year where if that offense is rolling and they score and that defense goes out and they give up points and they don't get after the quarterback or they struggle stopping the run, which they've always done, if Michael was out here, we would at least had a chance.
So I think I think it's a great point. I actually think of all the games on the schedule, this is the one that's going to apply to the least. Because it wouldn't have been a trend all year, you know what I mean? Something that's been happening all year, building up. I also think, to be fair, we have talked about this game for the last couple weeks, assuming Micah wasn't going to play or was going to be on a significant pitch count. You know what I mean? I know that Dak said we expect him out there. And so I agree with you that there are knock-on long-term effects of if the season's going sideways and the offense is rolling in these games. If they are looking like they're having a poor man's version of the Bengals season last year, that it can get really ugly over the course of the season. I think week 1 against Philly, because it's week 1, I think the approach is just going to be Dak and CD, we better score 40. You know what I mean? And that they are going to go out there and see if they can just outscore Philadelphia. Because I do not think Dallas, I thought with Micah, they were going to have their hands full on slowing Philly down. Without Micah, I don't know that the Dallas defense has any hope of slowing Philly down. With that said, I think Dallas's offense against this new Philadelphia defense, new personnel-wise, that I would expect will be at its worst week 1 versus later in the year once the young players have gotten used to Fangio and once the guys they brought in have gotten used to Fangio. I would think Dallas will be able to put up a fight when they have the ball. Like I don't think that you are going to have a week 1 of the season divisional route. Like you guys Brew, you clearly think it's going to be a route.
I don't think it's going to be I don't think they're going to get just blown out.
But can I pitch this to you? If there was a team that was going to get blown out, if there was a team that got a little nervous under the bright lights, and if there was a quarterback who got a little scared of the big moment.
But doesn't this work in the other direction, that all of a sudden now this is like a free money season for Dak?
Yeah,
like that there's no expectations
Dak,
that
if it's early, Jalen, I know what Jalen Hurts is going to do.
I look at
I'm
that
locked in.
differently.
If Dak random fumble.
Yeah.
I think it can get ugly, and I think when the Eagles have blood in the water, it's like the Super Bowl.
It could,
they're
but
not
this
going
is
to let up.
Right.
when you extract a player like Micah Parsons, who you could argue who was their leader. Like, was it Micah? Was it Dak? This is an opportunity for Dak to now reestablish and set in stone, like, no, we can be just fine because of me. Like, and so that's going to be his mindset. That's going to be offensively, they are literally going to take that approach that you said. Like, we're just going to outscore everybody. And they're not offensively, you're not even trying to be disrespectful to your defense. You're just being realistic. Like, look, we know we're gonna have to carry the load. They knew that going in, with or without Micah. Like, this offense has to be better than what it was last year in order for them to even compete.
And Brew, the year before they got Micah was the year Dak broke his leg, right? The year they won 6 games. Like they
won 8 the year before that.
The year. But the Cowboys they were not a contender with Dak except for his first year until they got Micah.
Right.
But they were a consistently solid team before they got Micah.
8 wins. They won 10 the year they made the playoffs.
Yeah, and they won 13 Dak's rookie year. And then my point is the 1 year the 2 years since Dak's been there that they've been really bad have both been Dak injuries.
Yeah, or
the year
years
he broke
when
his ankle or he tore his hamstring.
And when he puts up those huge numbers, for the most part,
they're mediocre.
So they need a run game to help.
Yeah.
Last time the Cowboys were in Philly, 41-7. Saquon went for over 2,000 yards.
And who was the
Not in one
quarterback for Philly?
For Philadelphia? Jalen Hurts.
No.
Oh, no, that was Kenny Pickett. That was
Kenny Pickett put 41 on.
No, Philly's
Micah.
Philly, right, and Cooper Rush was the Cowboys quarterback that game. The Philly's going to be able to score. The question is, can the Cowboys score?
Fast forward all the way to week 4, less than a month away. Packers at Cowboys. Here's Jerry on that game. Take a listen.
Micah will be problematic, very problematic. I'd suggest that we get ahead and run the ball.
Oh, that's like a little diss there.
What do you mean?
Well, he was saying that throughout the press conference. We need to stop the.
That they got better. He feels their defense.
No, but I was saying there's a shot at Micah that they can't stop the run.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
He's saying I suggest that we get ahead, meaning so that if they're behind, Micah's going to be able to pin his ears back and get after the quarterback.
It was a little bit of both, I think. We just had on there, I don't know if we can go back to the previous bar for a second, just because it has the point spread on it. And this is kind of the point I'm making overall on today's show. I understand the excitement about Micah going to the Packers, and I was down on the Cowboys before they traded him away. It is now the Packers with Micah, the Cowboys without him, and we assume it'll be Micah full go a month in. Doesn't matter, he missed training camp. 2.5 point spread.
Yeah.
And so
That's going to change.
I
bet you by the time that game, that week, it's going to be bigger.
I would be surprised if it's more than a point bigger. Maybe. We'll see. I think that at least Vegas and other people feel like the Cowboys have a higher baseline than we're giving them credit for because of their quarterback. You know what I mean? Just flatly because when Dak Prescott is healthy, they should be competitive. I do think Micah is going to have the type of revenge game that we thought Luka might try to have against Dallas. You know what I mean? Because I think Micah is, when you read his statement yesterday that he posted on Twitter, I know the video he posted, he's so excited and he's running around and he's talking about retiring his mom, all that, and he does seem very happy about where he's going. And they couldn't have traded him to Green Bay without him signing off on it because he had to agree to the contract. But the statement he posted on Twitter made it very clear. I thought I was going to be a Cowboy for life, and I was planning on being a Cowboy for life. And so I think there will be some anger in his play when he returns, Brew.
Yeah, I think a lot of it, though, the Cowboys know him better than anybody, and they may go out of their way to make sure he doesn't wreck the game. You know, now
doesn't every team do that?
Yep.
Yeah, but I think that could lead to like Rashawn Gary, some other Packers having a huge game. Either way, whether Micah has a huge individual game or it's other players because of the attention to Micah, I think the Packers roll. The Packers have won 10 of their last 11 games against the Cowboys. They won 5 straight against the Cowboys. And in those 5 straight wins, they averaged 36 points. Again, a lot of that was with Micah.
Guy's in the lab, dude.
So, I'm up there.
It's grinding.
Yeah, boy. So Green Bay's going to roll.
They're going to be coming off the Browns game.
Who's they?
The Packers.
The Packers are
Okay.
going to be coming off the Browns game. Micah's going to go crazy in the Browns game. And there's going to be a lot of excitement. Naturally, yes, the Cowboys are going to do everything in their power to minimize his impact in this game. Adversely, when you look at the Packers and that defense, everybody, there's not one player that has ever been in this situation where they go to a team and they're returning to play that team, that former team, where the current team that they're on doesn't rally and want them to have a great deal of success. The coaches included. Yep. And so when you think about what you're going to, one of the things that we don't talk about a lot, like Micah went from being in a 3-4, and last year was his first time playing in a 4-3 because of Mike Zimmer. He's going right back, and he was impactful in 13 games, 12 sacks. We know the numbers. Now he's in a 4-3 with the Packers and what they do in that scheme. So he's already comfortable understanding this type of a scheme. They're going to ensure that Micah is anywhere and everywhere to get after that.
It's like when Saquon went back to the Giants.
Like they're going to make a
like,
point.
hey, do you want to break your record? You can. He's like, I'm good. I think the point has been proven. Coming up next, Mahomes and Kelsey already gelling?
You don't like that one?
I don't get it.